Have you ever wondered why a woman who clearly likes you never reaches out? It's confusing, frustrating, and often makes men question their value. The truth is, her lack of contact usually has nothing to do with disinterest and everything to do with psychology, emotions, and timing. Women don't always act in straightforward ways, especially in modern dating, where attention is constant and availability is expected. Even when she likes you, there are reasons she might hold back, creating tension and curiosity rather than connection. This isn't about games or manipulation. It's about understanding human behavior and attraction. Women communicate differently than men, often using subtle signals rather than direct actions. When she doesn't contact you, it's frequently because she's assessing your value, measuring your confidence, and testing your emotional stability. She's also observing whether you respect boundaries, maintain composure, and continue living your life independently. Men who overreact, chase, or try to force communication unintentionally reduce their value and push her further away. In this video, we'll break down the 7 main reasons a woman who likes you might not initiate contact, what she's thinking, and how you can position yourself to maintain attraction. By understanding these triggers, you'll see that her silence isn't rejection. It's a signal, a reflection of her emotions, and an opportunity for you to demonstrate confidence, independence, and composure. When you grasp why she's holding back, you can respond in ways that naturally encourage her to reach out, spark curiosity, and rebuild connection on her terms. 1. She wants to see your initiative. The first reason a woman who likes you doesn't contact you is because she wants to see your initiative. Women are naturally drawn to men who take action, demonstrate confidence, and create opportunities rather than waiting passively. If she likes you but doesn't reach out, it's often a test of your self-assurance and independence. She wants to see if you have the courage to step forward without prompting. Many men misinterpret this silence as disinterest and respond by over-texting, calling repeatedly, or showing neediness. These behaviors immediately reduce attraction because they signal insecurity. Initiative is attractive because it communicates value, purpose, and decisiveness. When a man takes action without hesitation, it shows that his attention is meaningful and not given freely to everyone. Her silence is a natural way for her to gauge whether you embody these qualities. If she notices that you respect her space, remain composed, and act intentionally, it increases curiosity and emotional pull. She begins reflecting on past interactions, replaying moments where your presence was strong, confident, or memorable. That reflection strengthens her attraction because she sees that your energy and attention are valuable and not automatic. When she doesn't contact you, she's also giving herself time to assess your lifestyle and priorities. Is your life fulfilling without her constant input? Are you emotionally stable, grounded, and independent? These observations determine whether reconnecting with you feels worthwhile. Silence is not disinterest, it's a mirror. She's watching how you behave when her attention isn't guaranteed. If you respond with calm confidence and take initiative where appropriate, you demonstrate high value. She begins to associate you with stability, independence, and decisiveness, qualities that are emotionally magnetic. When she notices these traits, her desire increases, making her more likely to reach out on her own terms. This is why initiative is so important. It signals leadership and self-possession, which are far more attractive than constant chasing or over-communication. By understanding that her silence is a test of initiative, you can position yourself to maintain intrigue, command respect, and naturally encourage her to engage with you. The key is patience, consistency, and purposeful action. 2. She's testing your confidence. The second reason a woman who likes you doesn't contact you is because she's testing your confidence. Confidence is one of the most powerful attractors in modern dating. Women are instinctively drawn to men who are secure in themselves, emotionally stable, and unshaken by uncertainty. When she doesn't reach out, It's not a reflection of disinterest. It's an opportunity to observe how you respond to her silence. Most men overreact in this situation. They assume a lack of messages equals rejection, leading to panic, over-texting, or desperate attempts to regain attention. This behavior signals insecurity and dramatically reduces attraction. True confidence, however, is quiet, composed, and self-directed. When a woman sees that you are unfazed by her lack of contact, she begins to respect your emotional authority. Your confidence communicates that your self-worth and happiness are not dependent on her actions, which is deeply attractive on a subconscious level. During this testing phase, she may not consciously acknowledge her thoughts. Instead, she is feeling out your stability through observation. Every action, or lack thereof, sends a message. If you respond with composure, continue to focus on your life, and maintain self-possession, you demonstrate that you are a man who commands respect rather than needing validation. This creates curiosity and subtle desire, as she begins to reflect on your qualities that make you different from other men. Women often assess compatibility not through words, but through energy. Your confidence reassures her that you are capable of handling emotions, decisions, and boundaries without becoming reactive or emotionally dependent. Confidence also strengthens perceived value. The more she perceives that you are secure, independent, and self-directed, the more she begins to see your attention as valuable rather than guaranteed. This shift in perception triggers reflection. She starts thinking about moments when your presence felt stable, supportive, and engaging. The combination of respect, curiosity, and longing creates an internal pull that encourages her to initiate contact naturally. The key point is that her silence is never random. It's a window into how she evaluates your emotional maturity. By maintaining your confidence, independence, and composure, you turn this testing period into a stage where attraction grows. She feels drawn to you, not because you chased or pressured her, but because your stability and self-assurance create intrigue and emotional pull. Confidence isn't about proving anything verbally. It's about living in a way that makes your absence noticeable, your presence respected, and your attention meaningful. In this way, her lack of contact becomes the catalyst for her realization that she likes you and wants to reconnect on her own terms. 3. She's afraid of seeming desperate. The third reason a woman who likes you doesn't contact you is because she's afraid of seeming desperate. Many women are cautious about appearing too eager, overly available, or emotionally exposed too soon. Even when interest is strong, social conditioning and personal experience often make them hesitant to take the first step. She may like you intensely, but hold back because she wants to preserve dignity, maintain intrigue, and ensure the connection feels balanced. Men often misread this silence as disinterest and respond with impatience, frustration, or chasing behaviors, which ironically confirms the very outcome she's trying to avoid: imbalance and desperation. When a woman hesitates to reach out, she's subtly testing boundaries and observing how you handle your own presence. She's evaluating whether you are emotionally secure, independent, and self-directed. If you remain calm, confident, and focused on your own life without needing constant validation, she interprets that as strength. Her restraint is often a reflection of how highly she values emotional composure, stability, and measured behavior in a partner. By resisting the urge to force communication, she preserves intrigue and positions herself to see how you respond without overt cues. During this phase, her mind and emotions are actively engaged, even if she's not signaling it directly. She may replay past interactions, evaluate the emotional resonance of your presence, and notice qualities that stand out compared to others she encounters. This internal reflection strengthens her attraction and desire because she begins to appreciate your value in a space free from constant interaction. The subtle tension created by her hesitancy allows curiosity, longing, and emotional pull to build naturally. It's critical for men to understand that her silence is rarely rejection. It is a protective mechanism that allows her to feel secure, maintain autonomy, and evaluate the connection on her own terms. Overreacting or attempting to pressure her to initiate communication undermines trust and reduces attraction. Instead, patience, confidence, and emotional stability demonstrate value and reinforce the perception that your attention is meaningful. When handled correctly, her initial hesitation creates a psychological scenario where she feels drawn to initiate contact on her own. The combination of her interest, the emotional tension from absence, and your grounded response makes her more likely to reach out. This is why silence from a woman who likes you is often a sign of underlying attraction rather than lack of interest. She is testing, observing, and reflecting, giving you the opportunity to reinforce your value without chasing or overcompensating. Understanding this dynamic allows you to maintain composure, respect boundaries, and create the conditions for her to reconnect naturally, motivated by her own desire rather than external pressure. 4. She needs space to process her feelings. The fourth reason a woman who likes you doesn't contact you is because she needs space to process her feelings. Emotions aren't always straightforward, and women often require time alone to reflect on what they want, how they feel, and how the connection fits into their lives. When a woman doesn't reach out immediately, it's not a lack of interest. It's a conscious or subconscious decision to pause and evaluate. This processing period is essential for her to understand the depth of her attraction, the significance of your presence, and whether reconnecting feels right emotionally. Most men misinterpret this space as disinterest or rejection. They assume that if she hasn't contacted them, she isn't interested, leading to impatience, over-communication, or attempts to provoke a reaction. These responses destroy attraction because they signal dependency and emotional volatility. The reality is that giving her space allows her to reflect without pressure, creating the conditions for authentic desire to emerge. During this time, she may replay past conversations, consider shared experiences, and assess how your presence impacted her emotional state. She begins to notice the stability, confidence, and calm energy you provided, qualities that are often undervalued until they are absent. Space also allows her to weigh other influences in her life. She can evaluate comparisons with other men, social expectations, and personal priorities. Without the immediate presence of your attention, the contrast between your unique qualities and others becomes more pronounced. This naturally builds curiosity and emotional pull because she begins to recognize the value you bring to her life. When she senses that your attention isn't automatically available, she gains clarity about how much she actually misses your presence and energy. For men, understanding this dynamic is crucial. The goal is not to chase, manipulate, or force her feelings to surface. Instead, the goal is to remain confident, composed, and engaged in your own life while allowing her emotional processing to occur naturally. The more intentional and self-directed your behavior, the more she perceives your independence, stability, and value. This perception strengthens her desire and often motivates her to reach out when she feels the emotional gap strongly enough to act on it. Ultimately, giving her space doesn't push her away. It creates a vacuum where reflection, emotional evaluation, and longing can develop organically. When handled correctly, her silence becomes an opportunity for attraction to deepen rather than fade. She will often reach out on her own, driven by the clarity and emotional awareness that only distance can provide. Understanding that she needs space to process her feelings allows you to respond with patience and confidence, reinforcing your value while giving her the freedom to reconnect naturally. 5. She wants to see your independence. The fifth reason a woman who likes you doesn't contact you is because she wants to see your independence. Independence is one of the most attractive qualities a man can display, and women instinctively evaluate it when considering long-term interest. If a woman likes you, she wants to feel that you are not dependent on her for validation, attention, or emotional stability. When she doesn't initiate contact, it's often because she is observing whether your life continues with focus, purpose, and direction, even in her absence. Men often misread this as disinterest or rejection, but in reality, her observation is a test of value. Independence communicates confidence and emotional maturity. A man who remains engaged with his own life while respecting her space signals that his self-worth isn't contingent on her reactions. This creates a sense of attraction because it positions you as someone who brings stability, energy, and self-possession into her life, qualities that are noticed most when they are contrasted with your absence. When she sees that you maintain your focus, pursue your goals, and invest in your personal growth, she begins to appreciate the unique energy and presence you bring. Women are drawn to men whose lives are complete without needing constant validation. Your silence allows her to witness this indirectly. She may notice your confidence in social settings, your dedication to work or hobbies, and your ability to handle situations calmly without relying on her input. This perception reinforces your value and creates emotional pull. The more she realizes that your attention is not automatically given, the more she becomes curious about your life, your priorities, and your intentions. Independence also strengthens the perception of scarcity. When your attention and energy are available only on your terms, they become meaningful. She begins to compare the emotional depth, stability, and value you provide against other interactions in her life. That comparison often triggers reflection, longing, and eventual outreach. It's important to understand that independence doesn't mean being cold, distant, or unkind. It means being fully present in your own life while maintaining composure, confidence, and emotional authority. This balance encourages her to take notice of what she's missing without feeling pressured or manipulated. By demonstrating independence through your actions, decisions, and energy, you create a magnetic pull that naturally motivates her to reconnect. Your absence becomes an opportunity for her to appreciate your value and recognize that your life is engaging and complete, which intensifies attraction. Independence is one of the key reasons she remains silent initially, but ultimately feels compelled to reach out. It shows that you are a man with direction, purpose, and self-possession, qualities that women instinctively desire in a partner. 6. She's uncertain about her feelings. The sixth reason a woman who likes you doesn't contact you is because she's uncertain about her feelings. Attraction and emotions are rarely linear, and women often take time to evaluate what they truly want. Even when she likes you, she may feel confused, hesitant, or unsure how to express her interest. Modern dating can be overwhelming, with constant social stimuli, expectations, and comparisons. In this environment, she may choose to hold back communication while she sorts out her emotions. This doesn't mean she isn't interested. It means she's being cautious and reflective. Her uncertainty often stems from a combination of factors: past experiences, fear of vulnerability, perceived risk, or simply wanting to ensure that her feelings are justified before taking action. When she doesn't contact you, she's giving herself space to process, analyze, and understand the value of the connection. Men frequently misinterpret this silence as rejection and respond with chasing, pleading, or over-communicating. This reaction not only fails to clarify her feelings, but often reinforces her hesitancy. During this period, she's evaluating your responses, behavior, and emotional composure. She observes whether you maintain consistency, confidence, and independence without relying on her engagement. Her uncertainty diminishes as she witnesses your emotional stability and self-directed life. By remaining grounded and composed, you provide her with a sense of security, even in your absence. This helps her clarify her emotions naturally, without external pressure. Uncertainty also intensifies desire. The human mind is drawn to what is not fully understood or fully accessible. Your absence combined with your consistent value triggers reflection and emotional engagement. She begins replaying interactions, recalling how your presence made her feel, and comparing it to her current experience without you. That reflection strengthens her attachment, curiosity, and internal motivation to reconnect. The key for men is patience. Emotional uncertainty requires time and space to resolve. Your role is to remain steady, confident, and engaged in your own life, creating an environment where her reflection leads to clarity and increased attraction. Her silence is a signal that her feelings are real but undeveloped. She's processing internally, not withdrawing interest. Ultimately, her uncertainty can work in your favor. By maintaining composure and independence, you give her the emotional room to resolve confusion and fully recognize her interest. When she reaches out, it is a result of genuine desire and clarity, not external prompting. Understanding this dynamic helps men respond effectively, preserve attraction, and encourage a connection that is both authentic and mutually compelling. 7. She's waiting for the right moment. The seventh reason a woman who likes you doesn't contact you is because she's waiting for the right moment. Timing is critical in emotional connections, and women often wait until circumstances feel safe, meaningful, or aligned with their internal readiness. Even when interest is strong, reaching out at the wrong time can feel vulnerable, risky, or premature. By holding back, she is creating space to ensure that when she does engage, it has maximum emotional impact. This waiting period is not random, it is strategic on an unconscious level. She observes your behavior, gauges your emotional stability, and assesses whether your presence and energy complement her own priorities and current state of mind. Women are attuned to context and alignment. They want interactions that feel purposeful and balanced rather than forced or chaotic. Silence in this case is not disinterest, but an internal calibration. Men often misread this waiting as rejection and respond with impatience or overcommunication, which disrupts the natural alignment she seeks. When you maintain composure, focus on your life, and demonstrate consistency, you provide an environment that allows her to evaluate her timing without pressure. Your calm presence, even in absence, signals emotional reliability and authority, which increases her comfort level with reaching out. During this period, she is processing multiple factors: her own schedule, emotional readiness, personal obligations, and the energy she associates with your presence. She compares these to potential distractions or competing priorities. When the timing feels right, the emotional conditions align, and she initiates contact. This is often why men feel surprised when she suddenly reaches out. They don't see the mental and emotional processing that preceded it. Her waiting also intensifies emotional pull. Anticipation, curiosity, and reflection all build while she evaluates the right moment. By the time she engages, she is not simply testing you, she is acting from genuine desire and readiness. The absence of contact has given her perspective, allowing her to feel the impact of your energy and the unique value you bring. The lesson for men is that patience and self-directed focus are critical. Her lack of contact is not a reflection of your worth, but a natural process in which she aligns her feelings and timing with her internal readiness. By maintaining composure and independence, you allow the waiting period to work in your favor. When she finally reaches out, it is motivated by clarity, genuine interest, and emotional readiness, creating a stronger, more authentic connection than if she had acted impulsively. Timing, combined with your consistency and independence, creates conditions where her attraction and desire naturally lead her to take action. This is why silence often precedes contact. It gives her the space to align emotionally and choose to engage from a place of genuine intention. A woman who likes you but doesn't contact you is rarely disinterested. Her silence is a complex combination of internal processing, reflection, and observation. She wants to see your initiative, your confidence, and your independence. She may be afraid of appearing desperate, unsure about her feelings, or waiting for the right moment to act. Each of these factors is a window into how she evaluates emotional stability, value, and compatibility. Men often misinterpret her silence as rejection and respond with chasing, over-communicating, or emotional volatility, which undermines attraction. The key is understanding that her lack of contact is not a reflection of your worth, but a natural mechanism for her to assess, reflect, and feel the impact of your presence. By remaining confident, composed, and focused on your own life, you maintain value and create subtle emotional pull. Silence and distance allow her to process her emotions, notice the unique qualities you bring, and build curiosity and longing. She begins comparing experiences, reflecting on your emotional stability, and recognizing your independent energy, all of which intensify attraction. Patience and self-assurance on your part enable this process, allowing her to reach out when her feelings are clear and her timing aligns. Ultimately, her inaction is an opportunity. It's a signal that your presence matters enough to warrant reflection. When handled correctly, her eventual outreach comes from genuine desire, clarity, and emotional readiness. Understanding these dynamics empowers you to maintain composure, respect boundaries, and strengthen the connection naturally. Silence is not rejection. It's a stage where attraction deepens, curiosity grows, and the foundation for authentic reconnection is quietly built.